Go. Hello, we are back with another guidebook review. There are so many amazing and wonderful books that we can use as a partner in our wellness journey when we are using our, essential oils and our supplements. And it's such a way, I love it that it's kind of like having your wellness advocate with you and beyond every single day. You have all the oils, and then you have this book that can really help walk you through. So we decided to do this whole series on which ones do we like, which ones do we recommend to people. You kind of end up collecting these things because you want to check it out. You think, oh, maybe this one's the one or something. And you kind of accumulate a few books. And in looking at my shelves, I thought, I really would love to know which one is the best. So that's the journey we're on here. Today, we are focusing on Advanced Oil Magic. I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe the first one of these came out about 2018, the fall of 2018. I remember getting one for free at the convention, and it was like, wow, look at this new book. It was really cool. It is a beautiful book. I will say that right off the bat. It is a hardbound book, the one that we are talking about today. They do have other versions though, smaller paperback versions, more like quick guides, things like that. There's a slippery slope with Advanced Oil Magic, guys, in the whole oil magic game. There's apps, there's virtual books. I mean, they have got you covered. If you are into tech, this is going to be a direction for you to check out, right? But this is a hardback version. I would say it measures about, is it about 8.5 by 11 on its side? Or 11 by 8.5? Right. Okay, Susan's saying, yeah, it's like a piece of paper, but this horizontal landscape, if you will. It does have glossy pages with beautiful photos and images. So, if this is something, as opposed to maybe the first book we did, so go check out that video on the Modern Essentials Handbook, which I love. I think that is still in our, number one slot as far as these book reviews go. But this one really does kind of marry the beauty of that magazine style, that, browse through it style with great information. We have some pluses and we have some minuses that we want to share. Today, joining me, we've got Miss Susan Velazquez from EpiphanyESsentials.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, and we'll see. I'm so excited about today because I think we have lots of different thoughts. We've got Miss Diana Webb from Wellness is Essential.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm so excited. You've been in all these with me, so we we keep on digging into all these books, right? And my name's Kari with RavensNestEssentials.com. So go check out the website to learn more about all the educational opportunities that we have available for you. So digging in, guys, initial thoughts on this book. When you first did you guys both get yours for free?
Yeah.
Yes. They would do this thing each year for wellness advocates. Another reason that it's nice to upgrade your account, but where you just paid shipping, right? And so I don't know that they're doing it this year. However, in the past, that is how I've gotten mine. And it was great. Comes in the mail. And what a smart marketing tool, right? To kind of get this on our shelves and in our hands to get you looking through it. I don't have mine with me. We are traveling right now, but am I right? Doesn't it have like a nice feel to the outside? Isn't this one of those books that has that almost, what would you call that? Velvety-esque?
Yes.
Yeah. It's not a glossy cover. It's matte, and it has that kind of a, matte cover feel to it.
Yeah, it's got a good hand, right? Yeah. So I love that. I love that. So anyway, initial thoughts when you first got this book. Let's do a quick initial thought drop. Diana.
Yeah, I felt like it was a little bit, I had to get used to the format. So I didn't find it as easy to like look up stuff and look through it, but it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. And it has like a lot of, like, for example, I'm looking at the peppermint page, and not only does it have like all these different uses for it, which, everybody would like to know when they're holding a bottle of peppermint, but also it has these really cool recipes and diffuser blends and DIY type things that you can do. So I absolutely love that about it. Oh, and it has a QR code thing on the page. So it's really, what I'm trying to say is it's very it can get in depth pretty quickly.
Yeah, I like that. That was one of the things I liked was that it wasn't just what the properties of peppermint are and what the uses were, but it also gave you like you said, here's a diffuser blend to use it. Here's a way to make it into a rollerball that helps with headaches or whatever. Here's a way. So it kind of like got you to not just read about it and go, okay, well, that's cool, and set that peppermint back on your shelf. It got you to walk over to your diffuser and put it in. It got you to go ahead and sit down and use it in a rollerball or a bath bomb or whatever it is, right? So it does. I don't know if that's the advanced part or if it's all the tech that they've incorporated that, you know what I mean, kind of taking it to that other level, but it's interesting. Susan, what did you think when you first got this guy?
Well, I agree. It's a beautiful book, and it has nice quality paper, which I always like. Beautiful photographs throughout, so it's nice to look at. I will be honest and say one of my very first complaints about it is it sits very awkwardly on the shelf. It's a very different shape and size. I mean, it's a rectangle. All books are rectangles, but I mean, because it sits landscape style and not portrait style, it is always sticking out weird in my bookshelf because it just doesn't fit nicely with all my other books, which is a really petty concern, right? I get that, but it's a little bit more awkward for my essential oil library because it just doesn't play well with the other kids.
I was just going to say, it doesn't play well with others on the bookshelf.
Exactly. I like my little, I like to look at them. Books make me happy, and my essential oil books make me very happy. So I wish it like conformed a little better to my shape, my shape requirements.
Yeah. It's a good book too. I mean, like size wise, what has it got? Plus 500 or more pages?
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's definitely a big book.
300, I see 300, something.
The newer one has more. The newer one has
Yeah,
more.
I will say the only one that I have of the advanced oil magic is the 2018 version. So even the one you have on the screen, so I'm looking at the older one. So my apologies if any of my complaints have already been
rectified. Well, it's still shaped like that.
It's still shaped weird. Yeah.
It doesn't play well with others in the playground. Yeah, I think that, or in the bookshelf. So yeah, the sandbox, right? So yeah, it's a great book. My initial thoughts were that it was very pretty. You know, it does, Diana's saying, you know, it's kind of like a desk, like sitting pretty on your desk next to your laptop with your like latte cup, which whose world is that, right? That's not how we live for real. So, you know, it's a coffee table book. It's that, you know, all of those things. Great. But you're so right. I make it play. I force it in the square post into the round hole and turn it the other direction on my bookshelf. So, you know, yeah. So let's take a look a little bit. Now, I will say the book has changed a lot from series 1 and going into what will be series 5, which is coming out this month with all the new oils. One big change is that, yes, they will be specific to doTERRA CPTG oils. So when you look up pain, you're going to see deep blue, not light blue pain reliever or whatever it was called in one of the other series earlier versions. So that's a huge, for me, that is huge. I really, really kind of cringe about giving anyone who's relatively new to doTERRA a book that they have to then have a key to figure out what that blend, what are they talking about? You know, the invigorating blend. Well, what the heck is that? You know, I want to know the name of it. Is it this one or is it this one? You know, so I really like that they are making that improvement. If you take a look at their table of contents, so they've got single oil blend or single oils and oil blends. Every guidebook has that. If they don't have that, it's not a guidebook. Don't touch it. Stay away from it, right? They do a nice breakdown of supplements and soft gels. They do protocols by ailment, which is, and by the way, sorry, I missed one other part. Let me kind of go back up here a little bit. They have the guide. Then they have this section. This is the part I don't like about the book, which is the ailments and conditions section, which is separate from the protocols by ailment section. Now, one should be called quick reference and the other one should be protocols in depth, you know, if you're going to do it that way. I don't really see the point. For me, I'm never going to just look at that quick one. I'm always going to want to go to the in-depth one. But you know, hey, that's cool. I can guarantee you there are people who prefer that quick, give me the quick gist of it and let me move on with my day, for sure. So ailments, conditions, single oils, oil blends, supplements, soft gels, protocols by ailment, lifestyle protocols, which is a very cool aspect of this series of books. Emotions and energy, yay, a whole chapter section there on that. Then we get science and research, which another huge benefit that this book has. And then of course the references and credits. Now we've mentioned it a couple of times, but if you look toward the bottom here, you will see that QR shareable videos. I gotta say, this is where this book knocks it out of the park for people who are visual, you know, audio, you know, need to have a bit, you know, they want to learn. Like Susan, this is not your jam. Susan likes to read the whole encyclopedia. Some people want a video or, you know, to just listen to a podcast type situation. And that's how they take it in better. I love that I can send someone a picture of a protocol, you know, from the book and that QR code link, and they're able to just jump right in and get a full explanation of what to do and how to do it. I think that that's really smart. They're really kind of taking and partnering well with what the technology that we're all using today. It partners well with social media. It partners well with, you know, all different types of learners. So that is a real nice plus that I think this book does. So let's take a look here real quick at a layout. This is what you're looking at when you look at a page about one of the specific oils. So I think that I have to move you guys, your cute little heads out of the way. We have black spruce here, right? You've got application methods. So they've got the typical, you know, aromatic, topical, internal. Now, this one is the grayed out. Does that mean that you're not supposed to use it internally? Is that what I'm supposed to get from that? Or, you know, so that's a little weird to me. Just don't put it there at all, right? Has the properties, chemical constituents, other uses, safety. Always good to have that safety. Then you've got your top uses. I do like that they break down top uses with a little bit of information. It's not just good for memory, but here's how to use it for memory. That's cool. And then over here, I think that this is probably, I know Diana likes this. I know Romelia from our partners group likes this. It does have this nice little quick breakdown on the emotional benefit of each oil right there on this page, not elsewhere, right here. Then you've got the QR code that's going to do a video explaining it. And at the bottom, you have supportive recipes. So do you guys, I mean, this is a lot of information in one page. They've really kind of covered a lot here, right? That can be a plus or a minus depending on how you work. I like the photo too that shows like the part of the plant that it's sourced from. Muscle trauma release roller, stress-free sleep diffuser blend. These are great. You know, this is a great breakdown page for an oil, I think. So this is that quick reference section. So here you'll see it's like, you know, if you're looking at acne and blemishes, it's got, you know, apply a drop topically to affected areas 1 to 2 times daily, and it tells you which oils, and then the T next to it is topical. If it has an A and a T, you know, aromatic, topical with an I, obviously that's internal. Giving you a quick flash of information on what to do. I mean, I guess, what do you guys think about this? It's kind of nice. I can see that being beneficial for just a quick reference. Susan's pondering.
I have to say, and I'm going to really sound like a negative Nelly here today. And I don't mean to, but I feel like I get the quick reference idea. I agree with you. It should be it should be titled differently. I find the layout of this book confusing in that it has this, then it goes to the oils, then it goes back to, and I realize they're protocols and that's different than what this is. But I find it very confusing, and I'd like all that information to be in the same spot. I also feel like some of these things like aches, okay, that's a quick thing. Acne even, okay, that can be a quick thing. They've got addiction suggestions here. I feel like that needs more. And I'm sure there is more if I go back to the back, right? I just kind of feel like, that's not what I would put there. I feel like that needs, when I look at that, I want more information. I want one of those big protocol pages towards the back. Maybe that's how, you know, you kind of make everybody happy, because I like a lot of information and I like to read. So I get that, you know, maybe that's just me a me problem.
No, it's not, because I think you're right in that the oversimplification maybe of a very not simple problem or issue to deal with. It's kind of the backlash we get every day, right? About people who love essential oils is like, oh yeah, right. What are you got an oil for that? You know, it's that joke. Like, I hate that saying, but because I always feel like it oversimplifies what it is that we're doing and why we do it and what we love and how effective they are when you kind of, you know, make it too simple like that. I don't know, but I agree with
one
you.
of the strengths, I mean, it does have suggestions here, and that's nice, but one of the strengths of the back section is that protocol area where they give a really full, like, here's the supplements you want to think about, here's the oils that you want to, you know, pair for this particular issue. If there's an issue that needs that, addiction is certainly one of them, right?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
needs that more longer explanation, that more drawn out.
Yeah.
And even I would say the, you know, the safety types of things of, you know, depending on where you're at with this problem, you might need to be in the ER, not figuring out if you're going to use Copaiba or Zendocrine. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So-
Is it a T, or an I? Right. Yeah. I think I am noticing as we're talking about it, I do like how, like, say under aches, you do get at least the page number of where the protocol is.
Yes. Right.
Apparently, if you have actinic keratosis, you're out of luck. That's what you get. You're
No
getting
page number. Well, and I think that's the tie-in, right? Like, it takes you to where it does have the longer explanation, but I would find it simpler to just look for the longer explanation.
To me, this is a waste of space in the book. I'm never going to look at this. I'm always going to go and look at the back, give me the full story, but
Right.
that's me. You know, so I'll be curious to see the changes. Apparently, they've really overhauled the entire book for this series 5. So I think that I'm going to try to get ahead and get a hold of one. And let's take a look and review the series 5 and see if some of the changes and the things that we're not liking about this book. Because I think there's so much great about this book. I feel like it's almost trying to be too many things. So it's not really anything, you know, if that makes sense.
Right.
So moving on to, they have this little section on how to use ailment protocols, you know, giving you some reminders. Nice. Here's what you actually look at when you're going into the protocol section. You get these sort of long, narrow bookmark style layout of like depression, detox diet. You know, this is just one of the pages here. I do like at the bottom that it says lifelong vitality pack should be used as a base protocol always, right? That's like the given.
Right.
But you know, I think this is great. I honestly will say, I think that the Essential Oils Made Simple book does a much better, more thorough job. And that is coming from Oil Life. They a much better job. Go check out that video. We just did that one last week or the week before, a breakdown. Boy, do they hit on everything. You're getting the full story, including things like, you know, eating habits, nutrition, you know, your sleep. It does the full overview looking at what are you trying to work toward helping this situation in your life. So, you know, I mean, I don't have any complaints about this. The information is here. It's succinct, which I like. However, it's, you know, I can't imagine. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I feel about it.
This would not be my only book. So it's one in the rotation, right? And if I have an issue that's been kind of intractable, like it's just been really hard to get at and find the right protocol, find the right combination of oils, I will often lay out my favorites and I'll compare. So this one I do go to when I'm looking for, okay, well, that one says this combo and that one says that combo, and what are the common and which one's the outlier? And maybe that's the one I have to try, right?
Yeah.
But I do pull it out from time to time.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead.
well, I'll get to the but later.
Okay. Well,
later in the book.
We have a partner on our team who this is like her favorite book. So I think that like that, you know, there's a reason why there's so many books, right?
Absolutely.
Because everyone has their style of what works for them. And if you look at this and you think, are they insane? These women are stupid because this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. It's simple. It's straight to the point. It tells me what to do. I move on with my day. If that's what, you know what I mean? And you're right. The best book is the one that works best for you.
Absolutely.
End of story. We're just kind of breaking down, as people who use books all the time, what we have found to be effective or ineffective. I know that, Diana, you were talking even about, sometimes some of the pages are even hard to read, with the font choices and the color choices of the font.
Yeah, I think somewhat there's some style issues as well as some like I totally agree. I don't think it's a negative assessment, Susan. I just think it's an assessment to how you use it, you know, as a person who's looking for those things. And yeah, I would rather, like Kari said, instead of adding that in and kind of confusing the issue, I would rather that be left out and change it to a different format, a longer, more in-depth format. And but I do like the back of it, the emotional thing. That's where it really shines. The emotions and energy and the lifestyle protocols that are in depth are really, really great, because what they do is they really inspire you to decide, hey, I am going to get into this. I am going to try to live this abundance generator thing that it has here. And I'm going to, work on these things. And I'm going to put this in my diffuser, and I'm going to add this to my shower, and I'm going to do all this stuff. So I think that, I totally agree with all the assessments that you guys have given so far. But yeah, and stylistically, you want to be able to read it, right? We all need to be able to get the information out of the book without having to kind of pull out a big, huge light and our glasses and everything and be able to see it, So yeah, that's accessible or not, right? Depending on what kind of, font and colors and all that stuff you use. So I think that definitely should be a consideration for sure.
Yeah. I think, I'm just excited to see what they do with the redo, right? And I'm wondering this, I think, again, the greatest benefit of this book are the QR codes and the videos. I get their email. Sign up for their emails, guys, if it's free, okay? And they put the most wonderful explanation, these beautiful videos. They have PDFs that you can download that partner. Like, the education is there, right? The support is there. The research is there. I love that there's a whole section on the science, and that really has a nice layout to it. It works nicely as far as ease of just make a glance and kind of get a general understanding, right? At least some books don't have that at all, right? So,
and I would say actually that science section is one of the strengths of this book, in that I think it really makes the idea of the constituents in the oils clear for someone who maybe is not coming at it from a scientific background, but wants to understand that aspect of it. The science section is really nice and laid out in a way that I think anybody can read it and benefit from it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Definitely.
The layout on those science pages to me is really nice. It's very simple. It's clear. I like the amount of white space that I'm getting. It doesn't overwhelm me, right? To look at it and to feel like I can explain it or grasp the concept, right? So I really, really like that. I think there's a lot going right in this book. I think that our concerns are those of a book trying to be everything for everyone. And it's not necessarily, going to work in those first couple editions. Now, I think I have on here, let me stop sharing here because I think I have their website pulled up, and I will show that to you guys to show what the new book and there, I think it's gone through, I don't know, they're talking about some pretty heavy duty revisions that they've worked on, which it's really exciting. And you learn this right through the stages and such of whether or not, you really like this book. But Susan, while I'm finding that, what were you going to say earlier?
You made a very good point that the best book for you is the book that works for you, right? And we're all looking for something a little bit different when we go to our reference books for our oils. And I want to see as much science and as much of that, type of information as possible. So, when I go back, there's a very nice credit section in the end and lots of references. If you want, if you're a study person, there's lots and lots pages of studies listed. So that's interesting. But if you look at the bibliography, and again, I'm looking at the very first, I'm looking at the 2018 first edition of the Advanced Oil. So
Yeah.
clearly they've moved on, right? But looking at this bibliography, the second reference listed is the Modern Essentials Guide. And that's my book, right? Like that's the book. And I realized it's the book I started with. And often that's the way it is, right? Like you compare everything to the thing that you start with. And that it has always been my favorite reference. That is my go-to. It's my number one. I love the way it's laid out. I love the information in it. So that, you know, I feel like, well, I'm just going to go to the Modern Essentials then, because yeah, I agree with you. That's my number one reference, you know, never mind number two.
Yeah,
It's
when
number two because it's alphabetical and that book comes from, you know, a publisher that starts with an A. So, but there you go. That's kind of
that is
my
hilarious.
big beef. My big beef right there is and I get it. For some people, the benefits of this book may help to make that information more accessible to them. I have no problem with that, right? There's different ways to do things. And it doesn't have to be my favorite book to make it your favorite book or someone else's. But Modern Essentials is going to be my go-to every time. So,
well, I think basically that just, yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a reference book, use the book that this book is using as a reference.
right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's hilarious. I did not know that.
And if you need
knew
more
that.
details, like how many drops or, you know, how many times, that kind of thing, that is the strength of this book.
Well, I think that it's like where Modern Essentials is a struggle for people is in its sort of encyclopedic layout and style that is maybe not so visually friendly and overwhelming.
And it's dense. It has a lot of information on those pages.
For sure. And so I think maybe this is almost like a repackaging for a bit more of a consumer, you know, ease or, you know, spoon feeding, if you will, the information.
Layperson friendly. Yes.
Thank you. There you go. That's the word. But that cracks me up. So we're going to hope for the best. I mean, look, do I hate the book? No, I think there's a lot of great pluses to this book. I'm excited to see the redesign. It says right here, redesigned cover to cover. So,
all right. So in fairness, I think we're going to have to take a look at it and come back.
I think we're going to have to take a look at this and come back. I'm going to tell you already, it doesn't play well in the playground. Look at the shape. So
yeah, and you know, I don't know.
No.
Now it's a thing, right? Like, how do you change that now if you've made 5 of them the same shape?
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do. It looks like they've got, it says on the front here, I can't tell how many ailments, but hundreds of protocols, DIY and diffuser recipes. You know, the new oils from this year will be revealed on September 9th. At least the book will. I think our oils might be even maybe it is the 9th at the first general session that we find that out. Simplicity and accuracy is what they're talking about. The most useful resource yet. You know, I'm excited to see. They do have, I wanted to touch before we wrap this up on some other things that I think are helpful with this book. I do like that there is a full virtual version of the book, almost like a Kindle-esque version of the book. So you have that with you at all times. It is not necessarily an abbreviated version. It is the book, you know, in full form. They do have these smaller versions too, like the Healthy Start Oil Magic and the Pocket Oil Magic. Nice to have a variety of tools. Diana, are you unmuting?
I just wanted to say that they also have some translated other language versions, and they will do that as an ebook. And that is a huge value to people. It just makes it so much more accessible in their own language.
Oh, for sure. You don't want to have to be misunderstanding or mistranslating a word when you're trying to do a protocol, right? So really nice that they offer that. So I'm excited about the future for this book. I mean, it's a new player. It's coming in. I think that they're trying to fill you know, a space for accessibility to information and speaking to the different ways that people like to take things in. So I really, really hope they continue to explore the video aspect, the online aspect, the convenience of that QR code on every page to let me tap into additional information, send that to people. Even for myself, throw a video, the video pops up. So nice. I mean, I get that not everybody likes that stuff. I do. So I think that is really helpful. But yeah, okay. So watching, I don't know. I think I looked into it, and they won't ship until it'll be revealed, and it'll probably be available at convention. And so we won't be able to get our fingers on one for a little while, but maybe in late October, we should reevaluate this book. So we'll have it in our hands for a few weeks to play with it and see how they did with the series 5. And in the meantime, we're gonna wish the best for them to bring this around. I would love nothing more than to have another book. That I can, refer people to.
Right.
I'm gonna say this, and I think this will tell a lot. Okay. Have you ever recommended this to someone as the book that they should be using?
No, it's not the book I would start somebody with.
Right. And when you were offered to get the 2nd edition or whatever, I can't remember what the series number is, for free, did you accept the free book?
I did not.
No, and neither did Diana. I did. Because
I got the first one though, right? Did you have?
I got the first one, but I gave it away. I gave it away to someone because I didn't have another book, and they were just curious. And I was like, oh, I have this one. And honestly, I gave it away because I was kind of like, I got this one. You know what I mean? Like, go ahead. I didn't care if I never saw it again. But yeah, so that should say a lot. So, and am I excited about buying this one? I don't know. I am, because I'm an oil person, and I am really hoping for the best for this company. I hope that they do well, and I hope that this works out for them, and I hope it's a great book. But yeah, so there you go, guys. I think we finally hit one that maybe didn't get the best review. Romelia is going to be so angry with us. She loves this book.
She has to show up for the next one, right?
So this could have been a good like debate.
I know.
Honestly, I would love to hear her
So the mattresses.
Yeah, right. But I would love to hear her take on it, because I think that again, it comes down to how you like info to be packaged. And so, there you go. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that this was helpful to you. And I hope you come back to check out when we re-review the new edition. If you're interested in figuring out which book is best for you, go check out our other videos, and then keep watching, because we're going to have more for you in the future. Until then, have a wonderful day, and I hope that you enjoyed it. So thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.